Namaste, all beautiful friends. I'm back from the woods in Norway. My name is Hilde Larsen, and I thank you for watching my videos. I really do. It's been a pleasure to be making them, and I'm back with one on parasites. Before I get any further on this video, I want to tell you something, and that is that I had the most freaky parasite experience, or I would say the most freaky experience of my whole life, just about a year ago. And that is going to show you exactly the point of what I'm going to talk to you about today. So please bear with me and stick with me on this topic, which can be scary, and it can be intriguing, and it can be gross even, some would say. But hey, one thing, remember this. We all have them. Yes, we all have the parasites, and we all have the fungus, and we all have the bacteria. But you know what? That's what we're built up. When we're all, this is microorganisms. We're full of them. And we should live in harmony, like we do in nature. So there's nothing freaky about it, really. What freaks people out, and did me too, is when you get so overly loaded with them that they take over. So let's start at the beginning. Why do we get the parasites? How do we get them? How do we get rid of them? And what are they causing within our body? So if you've been listening to me, you know that I'm about health from a standpoint of nature and vitality. So I'm for natural health. And when you're healthy, you will not be overburdened with anything that is not serving you, okay? That's number one. So if you have uninvited guests, if you have parasites that's feeding off of you, that is making your whole body imbalanced, then your environment is very inviting to them. So in terms, the environment will come first. You could always discuss, again, the hen and the egg. You know, it's kind of a catch-22. It's like, do you get the parasites first, or do you have the environment first that invites them in? I would say you have the environment first for the type of parasites that we are going to talk about. Now, just from living, you will have them. Just from petting your dog, or having, going to a stable, horses, cats, regular household pets. They are hosts for a lot of parasites. And, the foods that we eat, even if you've ever eaten meat, a lot of parasites. Fish, a lot of parasites. And even from nature, from what I pick, there are parasites everywhere. Like I started to say, it's natural. The parasite's supposed to be there, okay? But you're not supposed to be sick from it. I was very sick from it. I was so imbalanced. I was living on Diet Coke, cheese doodles, nachos, burritos. I was drinking milk. I was having a cheeseburger now and then. I was just living that normal, regular life, inviting all of these in. And why are they invited in? Because they thrive in a high mucus, very acidic environment. So what does that mean? It means that when your intestines, for example, and I'm not just talking about your colon, when your whole small intestine is coated with mucus, and that is slimy, it invites in fungus. You will particularly get it from dairy, milk, anything from a cow. You will let it grow by eating meat that is putrefying in your intestines. So this coating is like a party for the parasites, because they're really invited in to help us, in the sense that they're the cleaners. They come in to clean everything up. Oh, they see all this waste, thinking, yummy, I'm going after this, and they stay and they lay eggs and they multiply, and that's what they do, like we do. They lay eggs and there you go again. They have cycles, 30-day cycles. They lay their egg, they wait for the little ones, they grow bigger, and there we go. And the more you have of an environment for them to thrive in, of course, the longer they're going to stay, the larger tribe they're going to produce. So This is why we get them. And this is also why just going on any killing spree will never take care of the problem. You can take some good herbs, you can take different foods, and I'll get back to that, what to do to kill the parasites. But going after them with a killing attitude is really not the answer, because the answer lies in the environment. It lies in your medium, your culturing medium, your cultivating medium within you. That's where the problem is, okay? That's why they're there in the first place. So just killing them will help you in the now with symptoms, of course, that they were creating, but it will never take away the reason for the parasites to be there, right? So they will just keep on coming back until you change what made them stay. So the parasites that I'm talking about are the typical roundworms, like in the scaries. They grow about a foot long, and I know from experience, this is truth. We have pinworms and threadworms, tapeworms, flukes. They like to go in the liver, and this is another thing. These parasites are not only in our intestines. That might be what you think about, because when you were little, right, you might have had worms. A lot of us did. I know I did. And we know that we deworm our pets, and we're also thinking about the worms that are in their stomach and bowels. But we have worms everywhere when we're infested. In our heart, in our lungs, in our liver, in our head. Yes, everywhere. I've heard of people having worms come out their eyes, their ears, their mouth, every opening when they're fleeing. When you're doing what you need to do to make them want to leave, they'll come out. And I think that could be the scary part. Just realizing that, oh, this is true. Okay. So these different type of worms, how should I put it? They also have like a personality. They have their own awareness, and they want to stick around. They don't want to die like we don't want to die. So they will try and fight and do everything they can to protect themselves. And they're smart. You know, a lot of them are very smart. So when you change the environment, they'll flee to somewhere else. They'll go to where they can stay. And this is interesting, you know, when it comes to symptomology, because this is the same thing that I'm talking about when it comes to the acidic state in general. Your symptoms will show up where you have your weakest link, your body part or your organ or your gland that's the weakest. And this is also where all the parasites will thrive. And they also thrive and go after the heavy metals. And I have no idea why, but we always see a connection between a lot of heavy metals and parasites. In my members group, right now actually, we're doing a liver flush week challenge. And this is another thing that I see, is that when you have parasites, you will have a lot of stones in your liver. And your liver is an organ that's metabolizing and producing, and it's like a factory of hormones and and all these different things that the body needs. And it's like an alchemist. So if it's clogged up, you're going to notice it. And the same thing with the gallbladder. It's digesting fat for you, it's producing bile, and your whole digestive system will suffer if your gallbladder is not up to par, you know? So with all these flukes going into the liver and all the stones in there and everything encapsulating, we're back to the stagnant state. We're back to not being able to release these acids. And I, myself, in my experience, having done 55 liver flushes in the beginning while I was sitting on the toilet, you know, half of the day trying to save my life from severe rheumatoid arthritis and Lyme's disease, ulcers, I saw that even within the stones, there were parasites coming out. And you won't believe what is coming out of me. Parasites, 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 liver stones for months and months. And yes, I looked like you and me. I looked like everyone else. I didn't go around looking any different. I wasn't that different. There was a lot of people that was around just like me, medicated. They just didn't know. And they didn't know about the parasites. So they never went that route, which actually, I believe, saved my life. So, this is why, my friends, it is very important. When you're on a healing regime, you need to take the parasite very seriously. And before I go any further on that, as long as you know that I'm for the environment first, you'll always know that, first of all, we're talking about your diet. We're always talking about your diet. We're never going to killing the parasites through that type of regime first. We're cleaning ourselves out first, or at least at the same time. As I said, why? Because if not, you're not really or uninviting them, are you? Okay, so first of all, when you have any type of symptoms that relates to your nervous system, that relates to your gastrointestinal system, most of all, you most certainly have an overload of parasites. If you have a fungus issue, you have a parasite issue. If you have anything related to your lungs, you have most likely a parasite issue. If you have pain, you have a parasite issue. It goes together. So once you stop eating the dairy and the meat, which is keeping you there, and the starches and the grains that are high in complex sugars that are also feeding them, and sticking to the fruits and vegetables only with a low fat, then you are disinviting them. And just from doing that, they will start leaving, okay? And the ascaris, the big ones that turn to a foot long, they reside at the top of the small intestine. So for them to leave, that's a pretty long way to come out, you know, and it's going to take time. And like I said, it's the 30-day cycles, just from getting the egg from a grown mother. And I know this can be hard to grab, but okay. So here's the deal. I see parasites leave people just from changing their diet. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But if you're infested, and I use that word when you're overloaded, not just having parasites like everybody else does, and they will clean themselves out when you clean yourself out. But if you're infested, in my opinion, like I did, there should be a parasite regime within your protocol. And I always do that with my clients, always a parasite regime. And what does that look like? Well, herbs, for sure. And also we could use dietary means. It depends on what you want to do. I know some amazing herbs to take, which you would take for a couple of months at least. And then I also have some very good tricks when it comes to what to eat. You can, for example, use papaya seeds. If you can get some organic papaya, you got gold right there. So what you do is you take out the seeds, and if you can't eat them raw, like for me, for example, I could get papayas for a very short period of time. So I would take the seeds, I would put them in the fridge, and I would leave them there, use them raw for as long as I could, and then I would dry them and powder them. They are amazing for parasites. You know, the parasites don't like them, so they just want to go. That's one thing, and that's a very, very good regime. They don't like peppermint essential oil, for example. You can take a couple of drops in your glass of water, and on top of that, you can put it right topically on your stomach. A good day to talk about parasites. You're probably not seeing that, but it's actually raining right now. You know, it's good. We like this. Okay, so that's that. So you go on a regime and you get rid of them. Meaning you're helping them leave, but you're actually changing your environment so that they don't want to stay with you anymore, because that's the most important thing. And you'll see them in the toilet, but the thing is, there's a lot that you won't see because they are microscopical. You know, not all worms and parasites are large. That's That's not how it goes, even though, they can be. So don't get discouraged if you don't see anything right away. The other thing is, how do you stay clean? Because once you see them coming out, I see a lot of people, they never stop cleaning because they're like, oh my God, I never want to get those back. So what do I do now? I have to stay on this regime forever. Now you see, that's the thing again. Once you get them going and you get you going back to balance, then they're not going to want to live with you because you're not going to, drink the milk. You're not going to eat the dairy. You're not going to eat the meat. You're not going to indulge in all those cakes and cookies and croissants, and you're going to eat the fresh fruits and vegetables, and you're not in the same team with them, if you do. And if you get on the dry fasting, then that's like the top of the mountain. Yes. So now let me tell you about my story. I have been parasite cleansing for years. I did before, and I tell you, this is no monkey business. This is serious. The worms that came out of me, I had glasses of eggs that I collected. Yes, and you're going to end up poop in a coriander, because you're going to get curious, because it is fun though. Make it fun. This is health coming back, and we need this. We need this. And why are we, we just have to go back to why, but why? Why am I so infested? Why do I walk around with this? It's just because we created this by our diet and our weak organs and glands. So just forget about that and think, okay, I'm empowered now. I know better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to get myself, I'm going to get my act together, and I'm going to thrive. Because so many symptoms will go away just from you cleaning those out, cleaning out the liver, unclogging everything. Make sure you get support. Come on my membership site. Come on my next challenge. And join people. Do this. The stories are amazing. And yours will be too. Now, me, dry fasting. I'm the dry fasting woman, right? So I think this was a 4-day dry fast. I've written about this on my blog too, if you want to go. Okay, InspiredByHilde.com, under my Power Up blog. I think this one is called My Most Freaky Experience Ever. You have to go in there because I actually have a picture of what came out of me. I was thinking I was going to show you here the picture, but I thought, I'll let them go. So in case not everyone wants to see that right in your face, I'm going to spare some of you, and then you who are ready, go in and take a look, because this is, what a crazy story. So I think it was a 4-day dry fast. Done many, so there was nothing new about that. And I've been raw for about 8 years, I think, then. Yeah. And just going about my regular day in healing, and, not having any physical duties. So I ended my dry fast, and I think it was 2 days later. I'd been feeling a little icky in my stomach after dry fast. I thought, okay, good, something's releasing, so that's good. So I am sitting beside my husband in bed. Okay, this is personal. And I got this notion that, you should take a trip to the bathroom. So I'm kind of holding it, and I'm telling my husband that, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. So I sneak out. We have an ensuite, so I'm just in the next room. And I take my hand back there, and there's wiggling. Yes. And there's wiggling. And I literally pull out with my hand a 1-foot Ascaris worm, living, alive. It is alive in my hand, in my bathroom. I had to pull it out by force. This was not from a bowel movement. It crawled out of me. After 4 days on a dry fast, it just said, this is it. I'm done. I'm leaving. I can't stay here anymore. There's nothing here for me. It actually crawled out. And that is a long way to crawl. Like I said, this is from the top of the intestine that it was sitting. And it crawled all the way out of me. And did I freak out? Heck yeah. Even though everything that I've been through, all the parasites that I've seen leaving me, yes, I was freaking out. This was, and what am I thinking? People say, what are you thinking? Well, I'm standing there and I'm like, okay, so I put it down next to the bathtub. It's laying there, and I'm going to my husband. I'm like whispering through the door. I'm saying, honey, do you have the camera? Or I said, the phone? Oh, there's a bird. And he replied to me, he said, oh, a parasite, huh? And I'm like, yeah? So, oh, the rain, I'm gonna have to turn a little bit. So, this is how well he knows me. So, I said, yeah, parasite. So, through the door, I get the camera, and I take a picture of this, no longer my mate or live-in. And that was that. And down the toilet he went. Or she, probably. And it took a while, actually. It took a while for me to know what to do with that information. Because not only was it scary, but I was like, this is personal. And this is, how do you tell people about that? How do you tell people that you're dragging out a 1-foot worm out of yourself? You know, and I've been raw for many years. And I'm like, you need to tell that story. You need to tell that story for many reasons. Number one, to tell people that this is real. This is within you. And number two, to show that it's all about the environment, because this one, he didn't want to stay, so he came out by himself. I didn't kill it. It chose to leave me. And that told me something even bigger. It told me that we were right, thinking that the environment really is everything. And it told me that it takes time. It told me that this is the product of what we're living. And I was just taking my health to a whole different level, you know. And God knows where we can go with this. God knows how healthy we can get at the end. Not that there is an end, but you know what I'm saying, right? So that's what I wanted to tell you today. I wanted to tell you that if you're not feeling well, make sure that you go on a parasite regime and you awaken to that possibility. Number two, don't freak out. We all have them, and they're going to come out. Number three, the environment is everything. So make sure that what you focus on is your internal. What you focus on is how you live and how you cleanse in general. And you do that by changing to a high, raw, high fruit, living, organic diet. And if you need help, contact me. If you need inspiration, read my books, From Health to Inspired, Know the Truth and Get Healthy, and No More Bullshit. If you want to become a member, go to my website, click on Become a Member. That's how easy it is. And then I can show you more personal. If you want me to teach you one-on-one, if you want to become one of my clients that I have on Basecamp, I have very tight follow-up with, then send me an email or click on coaching on my website. You can always contact me. You can go to my website and just click on contact me. So if you like this video, I'm going to let you go now to ponder about the parasites. Then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share the video, and stay blessed. And I'm going to give you a challenge today. And that is to go to my blog, click on Power Up Blog, go after my freakiest experience ever, and read and see the picture. And let me know what you think. Okay? Let me know what you think. You got this, and I love you. Okay. Namaste. Bye for now.